Welcome to Coffee with Blaine. Coffee, Blaine, microphone, headphones, digital grand piano, um, uh, divider, sunglasses. You know, all the things. How you guys doing today? Hopefully well. Hopefully well. All right. We'll give it a couple of minutes. Let people filter in or not filter in. Kaylin, good morning. How are you? You're first. You win. Congratulations. Becky, good morning. Silver medal for second comment. How you doing? Krista, heck yeah, solid bronze. I love it. And Don gets the honorable mention for comments. Good morning, everybody. Cheers. What do you win? You win my undying appreciation. Yes. Yes. How's that? Is that good? Do you want a prize? Chapstick? Rechargeable battery? This is just stuff on my desk. Tuner / metronome. Working. I see. You're working in triplicate. I love it, Becky. What are you guys up to? What are you guys doing this weekend? All right. You sure you don't want a blue pen? Just checking to see if you got raided by Sunshine. I did not get raided by Sunshine, or anyone for that matter. There has been no raiding of the compound. Just me and the dogs. I did hear that Sunshine was in town to wish Lindsay a happy birthday. Happy birthday, Lindsay, by the way. I know it was yesterday. And I wished her a birthday, happy birthday on her birthday. But I did not do a live stream yesterday. I will hide, Don. I'm fortified with a fence and dogs and shit. DK, good morning. Good morning. How are you? Honestly, I should have probably had her on because she's way more entertaining than I am, especially in this hour. At this hour. And my non-existent watch. So one thing I do love about my job is, for the most part, minus airplane rides, I don't really have to ever wake up to an alarm. And I like that most of the time. Today, actually, I kind of wish I had an alarm because I was kind of in and out. And when I'm in and out of sleep, I have these like weird dreams, and it's not very restful. But aside from that, it's kind of nice waking up naturally, letting your body kind of dictate when the hell you're getting up, which I dig. Does anyone else not wake up to an alarm? Jesse, good morning. Let's see if we can adjust this a little bit. I keep leaning forward. No, I don't mind flying. Flying's fine. I mean, it's not. I would say flying is tubular because we're in tubes. No, flying is fine. It's just like that's normally the time that I have to, be up at a specific time. Not a fan of the alarm life. Yeah, except when your body decides it's a good idea to wake up at 6:45. Yeah. Unless you're going to bed early enough to justify that. I normally get to bed around midnight, 1 o'clock. And I find myself waking up between 7 and 8. Normally, when Christy wakes up, starts my stirring process, if you will. I wake up with the sun. See, I have all my curtains drawn to hell. Keeps the room cool when the rest of the house is super hot. But oh, you do that too? What, staying up late? Yeah. I mean, late is relative, right? Normally my day is let me walk you through. Let me walk you through yesterday. So yesterday I woke up on my own and I had a cup of coffee. And normally when I have Jesse, good morning. When I have a cup of coffee, yeah, light blocking curtains. Those are what's on the room for sure. I normally sit in the chair in the living room, and I feed the dogs too. That's the other thing that probably wakes me up is I hear the dogs scratching at the door. I don't let the dogs in my bedroom because I want a room in the house where I'm not covered in dog hair. And I want that room to be where I sleep. I don't want to sleep in dog hair. The dogs have beds. They're allowed on the furniture in the living room. They have plenty of soft places to lay down. So they normally wake me up scratching at the door for breakfast. And then I wake up and I simultaneously prepare their breakfast and prepare my coffee. Mickey, good morning. And I normally sit on the chair, and then once the dogs finish eating, they all run by for a pet. And I check my phone for my emails and my messages and anything else that I missed. And start planning my day. And then generally after that first cup of coffee, as in like today, I'm here with my second cup of coffee. Max, what's up, bro? Yeah, you should just come over and we should do a podcast episode. For sure. That'd be great. Unless you have some headphones with your phone or something like that. We could do this now. Give a little preview. But yeah, and then I come what did I do yesterday? Yeah, then I vacuumed the house, mopped the kitchen floor, gave the dogs a flea bath. And that took a big chunk of the day. Then I practiced my trumpet, ran through I taught a guitar lesson. Then ran through some other practice type of stuff. Then Christy came home. And when she came home, I actually had to leave because I went to Daniel's rehearsal dinner. He's getting married today. And then when I left that, I came home and I proceeded to practice some more. I've been trying to do 2-a-day practice sessions on the trumpet. But once Christy goes to bed, this room is kind of isolated and fortified, if you will. And I can actually just wail on the trumpet down here and no one will hear. Unless they're directly above me, or right outside, I guess. But yeah. And then I did that till around 11:30. I've been trying to transcribe a Miles Davis tune. It's not a tough solo to transcribe. It's just tough for me on the trumpet because, I am but a novice. And then I got bored and decided I've been actually transcribing it on the trumpet rather than transcribing it on guitar and then playing it on trumpet because I want to get used to finding my way around. But then after I did, I think I transcribed like the first minute of it. Then after I did that, and I couldn't blow anymore because my lips were sore. That's what she said. Then I picked up my guitar and actually learned what I had transcribed on the guitar. Found one wrong note. I was a half step off with on the trumpet. So when I go to practice today, I will adjust that note on the trumpet and try to get a little further. But yeah, that is it. That was my day. And then I rinse and repeat. Basically, I work till I fall over. I did play with the snakes for a little bit when I got home. I forgot about that. I made my first cup of coffee and the creamer was curdled. Ew, gross. I hate when that happens. Max, you still on this piece? You want to jump on? I can send you an invite. We can get all financial up in here. For those of you who don't know, I've talked about it before, but my goal is to start a podcast talking about finances, more specifically geared towards musicians and artists and those of us who are self-employed, as they say. Because musicians and people who are creative for a living, who tend to end up with a decent amount of money, a lot of times end up blowing it. Same thing with like professional athletes. When you end up with windfalls of money and then long periods of no money, it's pretty chaotic financially. So that's kind of our goal, is to educate people. Like we were blessed to educate ourselves with obviously help from a lot of different sources. Jennifer, good morning. Medusa is getting so big. Yes, she is. You wanna see her? Let me see. I'll go find her real quick. If you guys have anything you want to talk about, please drop it in the comments. And Pearl Jam, nice. We got to open for them technically at a festival. We were earlier in the day, so not like directly open for them. But I got to see their show, and they're awesome. Eddie Vedder's incredible. And they had Josh Klinghoffer on guitar, who was in the Chili Peppers between Frusciante gigs. Hi, Facebook user. Which Facebook user is this? Let's see. What do we got? B-Day shout out. It's John Dell's birthday. Happy birthday, bro. Sunshine, good morning. People are asking why you're not here joining me on this podcast. So many good shows. Album release parties are on Thursdays. I can't make them. I think we're doing an album release party on the 29th. I don't know if that's a Thursday or not. But yeah, let me see if I can switch my camera. Let's see if this works. Did it work? It looks like it worked. This is Medusa. I actually took my tape measure and measured her yesterday. So she is just over a year old. And she is 3 feet long, which is pretty insane. Let me see if I can adjust the camera a little bit. Yeah, she is gorgeous. You can see the gorgeous coloration and patterning. Oh, she's got a grip. She's so strong. See that grip she's got? Yeah. She's gonna be a big girl. I was talking to the girl who's going to pet sit for me for the next month while I'm on the road. And I took her out and measured her with the tape measure just because I was curious. And she's 3 feet. She's exactly 36 inches long, stretched out. You know what's really crazy, DK, is in the wild, these guys don't climb trees at all. They're a ground boa species, and they just lay in the leaf litter. I feel like there's no reason they need to be this strong unless they intentionally hunt like larger size prey, and they have to be able to constrict it and subdue it. But yeah, she is gorgeous and getting super big. Isn't that right, girl? Old chin rubs. She's a little head shy. But yeah, I have a feeling that she's going to end up being somewhere along the lines of 7+ feet when she's an adult. Just from the rate that she's growing already, and the fact that females get larger than males, she's going to be a big girl, I think. Which means I'm probably going to need to get her an 8 foot by 2 foot by 14 inch or 18 inch high cage or enclosure. It's basically a condo. Thanks, Jesse. Devin, good morning. How you doing, bro? How's it going? Yeah, today's Friday. We're just chilling. She's got that grip. She's just chilling though. She's just hanging out. Let me go back to the other view here. Scoot, do you plan on keeping her when she reaches max length? Yes. Every snake that I get with the max length in mind, because I'd prefer personally not to rehome any pets that I don't have to rehome, if that makes sense. If I get a pet, I plan on having it for the duration of its existence, if possible. So, like I wouldn't get a reticulated python because I don't have the space for an adult. And I don't ever want to get something that I couldn't house an adult size like right away. I don't want to be like getting a reticulated python and then be like, oh, I'll figure out what to do with a 20-foot plus snake enclosure, later. I want to know that stuff in advance. So, yeah, so she's probably going to have an 8-foot long enclosure. The ball python Duder is in a 4-foot. Right now she's in a 4-foot. But if I get an 8-foot, I can stack the 8-foot and the 4-foot next to each other on top of each other because they'll all be the same, total size. And I have enough room for that. So that's going to be the goal because the gopher snake is getting big. He's over 3 feet already. I almost picked up a tortoise yesterday. Its owner died, but I wouldn't have been able to lift it in and out of the car. Is it a sulcata? Yeah, they're awesome. You just need a lot of space for them. Megan, good morning. Good morning. Yeah. Kaylin was asking about Medusa here, so I figured I'd spend a little time chatting about her. She, as you can see, she's so calm. I was overly cautious and still am overly cautious with her because I want to bring only good vibes. I want only positive experiences handling her. So She just gets more chill and more chill. Cheers. Do you ever find a snake to be affectionate? I've never had one. Affectionate is an interesting word. I don't know if affectionate is the right word. People's hands are warm, and since snakes are ectothermic, being on you equates to being warm. So they like the warmth. They can also feel secure on you. They know that when they're on you and around you, they're safe, if that makes sense, if they associate you in that way. But as far as like genuine love, some reptiles seem to like it. Iguanas, rhino iguanas, tend to act that way. But for the most part, snakes, they just want to feel warm and safe, basically. The world is a scary place when you're a noodle with a head, as it's affectionately said by people. They all eat rats. They're frozen thawed rats. So I get them out of the freezer. I thaw them out, and then I feed them once a week. They all ate 2 days ago. Yeah. I like to think that the equating of feeling warm and safe and secure and the snake being able to just be inquisitive is their version of love. Because I mean, I feel like that's kind of what it boils down to anyway at its most primal level, right? I mean, we have more complex emotional discerning here, but in the end, we all just want to be warm and safe and not starving and have fresh water. I guess I can get out the Gopher Snakes so we can see how he's grown as well. Give me 1 second. I'll come and switch them out. She's so chilling though. She's so chilling. It depends on the species and the size of the snakes. Snakes have this beautiful ability because like when a human eats a meal, like when I have a burger, that burger gives me X amount of energy. 80% of that energy goes to heating my body. So it's very self-heating can be very inefficient. So basically, with a reptile such as a snake, they don't have to heat their body. The sun heats it, or their environment heats it. And that's whatever temperature their environment is whatever temperature they are. So they can eat much less. There are people who own ball pythons, for example. And those ball pythons have gone up to a year without eating, without losing any weight. They're just chilling. And on average, a baby snake will eat more, obviously, because most of that energy goes to growth. So they'll eat every few days to every week. But a species like this, once he gets full size, he'll probably, or she, will probably eat once every 2 weeks to once every month. So they get a nice large meal in there, and they're good for a while. There you go. DK knows. DK has a ball python. Has gone 6 months without eating. Yeah. Mike, how you doing, man? How's your little ball python doing? You guys all doing good? Have you picked it up yet? All right. Hey, bud. Let's get you in. We're going to bring out our next guest, I guess. Oh, nice. Yay, shed. Good job. They turn into basically a black snake with little yellow and white dots. Yeah, kind of like a Dalmatian, except increasingly black melanin as they get older. It's crazy process because you basically have a different looking snake through its entire life. You know, the snake that you start with is the opposite of the snake that you end up with, which is crazy. And they're retics, so they'll get 20 plus feet, which is the hard part because housing a 20-foot snake is very difficult, as Ken can probably attest to. You need a lot of space. You know, I lived in Florida for like 6 years, and I can count with 2 hands the amount of snakes I've seen in the wild, and I'm always in the woods. I mean, yeah, for the most part, in the wild, man, and even in captivity, snakes are always hiding, bro. They're literally a noodle with a head. So like they don't want to be found. They don't want people seeing them. Anything that sees them in the wild is generally going to try to eat them. And if the things that they eat see them in the wild, then they miss their meal because those things are going to run away. 8x3 is sufficient, but bigger is better. Yeah, I think, yeah, personally, I've only dealt with medium-sized snakes, but I like to make sure that all of my animals can stretch out along the length of the enclosure. So he's just about little over 4 feet, just like 4.25, but he's in a 4-foot enclosure. The gopher snake's getting moved to a 4-foot enclosure, 4x2 by 2 for both of them, and then the Doomerl is in a 4-foot enclosure already, but he's going to move up to an 8-foot. But since they're 99% terrestrial, he's only going to get 14 or 18 inches high. Honestly, I was looking at 12 inches because they really only need ground space. But for me to get in and out, I want I want more height for me to get in there, just in case the snake's having a bad day and I have to get in down and dirty in there to get it out. I want a little bit of height. But yeah, it's snakes are pretty adaptable, and but you see different behaviors as you change their enclosure from what I've noticed. Yeah, I have a climbing opportunity for the ball python, and he likes to get out and climb on occasion. And I also have a little climbing opportunity for the gopher snake, just short climbs. But retics, man, I would feel like if I had a retic, I'd want it to be able to climb. I'd want a 6-foot tall enclosure to give it some ample, solid climbing surfaces. At least like a giant rock ledge or something like that. That's the reason I don't have a retic. I would probably do the same thing with a Burmese as well. But for the most part, they can live just fine not having those necessarily things, because most of the time they're just trying to hide anyway. You give them so I give him, you know, a 4x2x2 enclosure, and he spends 80% of his time in a little log. It's like, oh, what are you doing? Knocking stuff over. In a little log that's like this big, a little half log. And he's got 2 of them, and he's either in one or the other 80% of the time. L-shaped enclosure with a second level as tall as your ceiling allows. That would, do you have one of those set up, Ken? Because I would love to see that. I always love crazy enclosure builds. Mine are pretty simple. But at a certain point here, I'm going to be getting like a much more decorative one, or a series of ones. But I mean, they have some foliage. They have some burrowing space. That's the thing for the doomerals. They need to burrow. I got rocks in the rosy so it can navigate in those little crevices. Greenhouse, you could fill full room terrarium with cat towers and bridges and shit for them. Oh, that's amazing, Ken. Hell yeah. Yeah. I've seen people with iguanas that dedicate an entire room to the iguana. And with built-in ledges and basking spots. I've seen the same thing with Savannah monitors, where they just dedicate a whole room. I saw there's a person on YouTube. They have they have a full reptile zoo now. The channel's called Snake Discovery, but they had an alligator that had a stunted growth issue that they rescued, that was in a pool and had its own room in the basement, basically, and basically lived in a kiddie pool until they got a full reptile setup for him. Grow tents fully sealed except for zipper doors. Oh, that could be cool. Yeah. When I had a couple green iguanas, and my big girl that I had before I moved to California, I actually adopted her out to a place that gave her an entire room, which is crazy. But I had her in a 6 foot tall by 5 foot long by 4 foot wide enclosure. Took up a good chunk of my living room because I was in an apartment at the time when I was in school. Yeah, it was pretty crazy. She was, man, never been whipped by an animal so much in my life. She would whip me with her tail so often. I had scratch marks all the way up and down my arm. Yeah. Green iguanas are tough, but that was my first reptile. I had one that was really sweet. And then after she passed away, I got a second one and realized really quickly how much effort goes into green iguanas versus starting with something like a leopard gecko. They are not very nice for the most part. Rock iguanas can be amazing pets. Green iguanas, you have to really spend the time with them. Yeah, they're insane as far as reptiles go. And even if they trust you, if they go into like males, if they go into a territory thing, build up the trust the whole life, and then they just start chasing you around the house to fight you because you're in its territory, or they start chasing you around because you're a female. And sometimes they grow out of that phase, and sometimes they don't. It's crazy. Yeah. All right, guys. It is time it is time for me to go do some actual work. I'm gonna go to the water store. I'm gonna pick up some food for these guys. For the I got to get a month's worth of food for all 4 snakes. For my amazing pet sitter who's gonna be taking them in for the next month. And then I got to practice, and then I have Daniel's wedding today, which I'm excited for. I might have to go buy some slacks because I don't know if I have slacks. Macy's it is, I guess. All right. Love and appreciate all you guys. Thanks for making my mornings way more enjoyable. Thank you, Kaylin, for the suggestion. Thank you, DK, for the awesome input. Thank you, Ken, especially for having this conversation. Go check out Ken's Facebook page and check out all his amazing animals. Candace, good morning and goodbye. All right. Thank you for everyone else who is contributing and asking questions. I always love interacting with you guys, and appreciate all of you.